Hey, what's up everyone? Mendel here. Hope you are all doing awesome and wonderful. And over here, I have a very cool little device. Well, it's not that little, but a cool little device. This is the RedSeven Amp Central. Here we go, reactive / resistive load plus IR loader box thingy. Coolie thing, that thing. So 3 things before we go on. 1, why would someone need a load box? Because it could be you never heard of one before. Basically, if you have an amp head, like a tube amp, or like in this case, which isn't tube amp, the EVH 5153 Stealth, which is one of my favorite amps of all time. Basically, what you need to do is connect it to a cabinet, because you need to hear the sound, but it's also because the amp needs to get rid of his load. But the cool thing is, with a load box, it takes the load, and then you can just put an XLR or a line out and put it in your interface, and then you can basically record or practice silently without blasting it through a 4x12 or something. Up until a couple months ago, I didn't know that there was basically a big sound difference between different brands. I thought, well, it just takes the load, it will sound like the amp. No, I was fully wrong about that. A lot of load boxes sound different, and the better the components are, the better it will feel and sound. And I can honestly say, this one sounds better and feels better than the 2-nose Torpedo Captor X I have. And I will make a comparison video in a couple weeks, comparing different load boxes, and I rented some recordings and I'm quite impressed how different they are and how good someone can sound. And I can already give you a spoiler, this one is among the best ones I've ever played through, felt and recorded with. And 3, make sure you're subscribed to this video, give me a thumbs up, hit the belly thing, that's much appreciated. Before we go talk more about this thing, let's do some more chugging. That can be better. Alright, so back to the Amp Central. So basically a little bit of information about RedSeven. RedSeven is a company from Italy, and they make awesome, I think I could say boutique tube amps, which from friends I've heard, they sound and feel amazing. So I would love to try one out. Hey RedSeven, I'll hit you I'll hit you up, I don't know. But word of mouth also said they make one of the best reactive load boxes out there, with a lot of cool options in my opinion. And it delivers because it feels and sounds awesome. Now, let's first go to the IR loading thing, because I think that's a really creative thing they implemented. Not all load boxes can load IRs. If you don't know what an IR is, it's basically an accurate capture of how a cabinet sounds with a microphone of it. You can save it to a WAV file and then use it in an IR loader, like on your computer or an amp sim. But the cool thing about this is now you can load the IRs onto the device. There's a USB port on the back so you can connect to your computer and then load your favorite IRs. But I do have to say, for some reason, none of my IRs worked. This needs 48 kilohertz, 24-bit mono from the top of my head. A lot of my own made IRs are in that format and they didn't work. But the IRs you'll be hearing today are the IRs that, Jesus, here we go, are the IRs that come with this device. So these are made by RedSeven themselves, including from their own cabs, if I remember correctly. You can load up a maximum of 16 different IRs, and this is the cool thing, because I think it's really intuitive. It's just this simple scrolling wheel. So we have different banks. So bank 0, cab 1, 2, 3, 4, or 0, 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, oh, here we go. 0, 1, 2, and 3. So this is just the first one. Which I personally thought was a bit, I don't know, a bit fizzy in a bad way. But I really like bank 1, cab 0 then. Here we go. And even more, number 2. It's so it's a bit confusing that it starts with 0 instead of 1. But anyway. For metal, I think this one sounds really good. So we have our cab switch knob, I'll call that, I think. We have our input level knob, so I aim for 0 dB on my chugs. Headphone levels, because you can also connect your headphone with it. Aux in, if you want to jam along with something. We have our EQ curve, not the EQ curve, but the filter. So you can keep it on flat, which I always do, or cut off some lows. And here we have reactive and resistive load. Now, I remember seeing a video from my buddy Christian Cola Keller, mentioning that resistive load was basically more flat sounding. Which I agree. And reactive load is the thing you really want. Because that's how a amp would respond with a true cabinet or true speaker. On the back we have our XLR out, we have a line out. The line out is without the IR. What you can also do is not include an IR on the XLR, so then you have also like the direct sound of the amp. So if you want to use an IR in your DAW or in an IR loader on your computer, you can do that as well. We have an effects loop, which is pretty creative, and I think I haven't seen that before, to be honest. An effects loop on a Loadbox. So that's pretty cool. We have MIDI in and MIDI out, and we have the through, so you can basically connect this to your amp, and then from this, besides going to your interface through XLR line out, you can take the out and put that into a cab again, so you can basically do best of both worlds. Like in a live setting, this would be a really cool solution, because you can put your favorite IR here and do that to front of house, and then for on stage, connect your favorite cab to it, and then you have in the monitors your favorite IR, and then for some depth or for some stage volume, have a cab in the back. I mean, that's pretty cool. Let's go again through some of these cabs. And bank 4 I left empty, so I just would be sure to have like the direct FD amp available. Yeah, but so far I think bank 1 and then cab 2, I want to say 3, cab 2 was my favorite. Ah. So overall, the end verdict, if I would go touring again and use a real amp, this would be the thing I would take with me. It has the IR loading that I love. If I can manage to put my own IRs on it, I could go straight to a cab. It seems very sturdy, feels like a tank. But the most important thing for me is it feels good, especially chugging. It's like one of those things, because previously I only had the Torpedo Capture X, which I really liked. And then like, okay, this is the best sound ever. And then you get this, and then you compare them, and like, oh, okay. So this is more, I'm not gonna spoil it, because again, I'll make another video where I compare multiple load boxes. But this feels better than the Capture X. I'm not gonna throw the Capture X under the bridge. It could sound very cool for maybe for different amps, but for the amps I have here, like mainly high gain amps, EVH, I have Roking over there. This is the ideal solution in my opinion, especially for touring. It would be very cool in the studio. Awesome solution. So make sure you check it out. I'll put a link in the description box down below, the RedSeven Amp Central. If you like this video, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. The Billy thing, that's also much appreciated. And keep an eye out for the upcoming video where I compare multiple load boxes. So, hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Cheers.